My name is Mark Drawbridge. I'm a senior research scientist here at Hubbs-SeaWorld Research Institute, and I'm also the director of the Sustainable Seafood Program. So my background is in marine biology and marine ecology, and we put a lot of that to good use here with this program, learning how to raise fish, different species in captivity for a variety of purposes, conservation-related purposes. Releasing fish back into the ocean is one of our big ones. Long ongoing program with white sea bass. A more recent program starting up with California halibut that we're real excited about. And then also very interested in producing these same species for food. So in addition to releasing some fish, raising others for food directly and securing our seafood supply.
Where'd you go to school, Mark?
I did my undergrad in Gettysburg College in Pennsylvania, and I got a master's degree here in San Diego at San Diego State University. We have multiple tanks here with sea bass. We control the temperature of the water and the day length, basically mimicking different seasonal conditions. So through doing that, those are the cues that the fish use to spawn. So by offsetting different tanks under different seasonal cycles, we can get year-round egg production. So right now it's springtime, but we have groups that think it's winter, and those would not be spawning for us. So we always have one or more groups of fish spawning at any given time.
So do these fish stay together the entire time, or do they mix?
Yeah, we keep them together and then rotate in new stock periodically. So, but otherwise they're together for a number of years before we move them out.
So Mark, what am I looking at right now?
Chris, these are our white sea bass broodstock. So this is one population of 3 that we currently have. These are the breeders that provide the eggs to support the sea bass program. So we got a combination of males and females in here. They're upwards of 60 pounds in some cases, probably up to 20 years old in some cases as well.
What am I looking at here, Mark?
So Chris, this is what we call an egg trap. This is water that's flowing out of the tank by gravity. And so this system, in order to control the water temperature and just maintain good water quality, we reuse the water, we send it through some nice filtration, UV sterilizer, those kinds of things. It gets pumped into the tank and then the water's flowing out of the tank. And you can see that this is a mesh bag right here. It's 500 microns, which is pretty small, but so are the eggs. So the eggs would be retained in this bag, and then the water flows out and through. So it's a real simple way of collecting the eggs. Our team would just check this in the morning. Usually they spawn at nighttime, and so we'll just check the egg traps in the morning to see if there was a spawn. And if we need those for our culture process, we'll harvest them up and work with them. So these are juvenile white sea bass. They're about 5 months old, and they're the result of a spawn from this facility back in October. And right now we're in the process of, just finished up a process of tagging fish that are going to go out, either get released or go out to net pens. So this is about as big as they get inside the facility, and then we move them outdoors. Water's a little turbid right now because we've had all this rain. Even with the reuse system and the filtration we've got, the rain has clouded it up a little bit. But this fish are nice hardy fish. They tolerate pretty low salinities and that sort of thing, so they don't really mind it.
How often are you doing health checks on the fish?
The fish get checked kind of on an as-needed basis, but in terms of the process that we go through, they always get inspected before they leave this facility and go out to a net pen, and then they always get an inspection before they leave the net pen to get released into the ocean. So, and the Department of Fish and Wildlife performs both of those health inspections. And then we have veterinary staff here that are awesome, that will also check the fish periodically just to make sure everything's good.
What is this right here?
This is the vital statistics kind of on this group of fish. So every tank, we keep track of who's in there, how many fish, when they were spawned, an estimate of how many females contributed to that spawn, what size food they're on, how much food they're getting, that sort of thing. So again, so as our staff are coming around and to feed the fish, they can just look at this and really understand what's in here and what they should be doing. And it's a way for us, we keep inventory of all the fish that we have on hand at any given time. Things like biomass, how many pounds of fish we have on the facility. These are all things that we track and also have to report to some of the regulatory agencies.
So is this glass enhancing the size of them in there?
No. We don't play those tricks. It's just plexiglass. So this is what you get.
Put your hand on the glass. There we go. There's some big ones right there.
Oh yeah, there's some beauties. The world record's over 90 pounds, so it's a nice fish. Between the sea bass and the yellowtail and the halibut we work with, we've picked some really big ones. So in terms of species.
How old is this program?
This program's over 35 years old. It was started in the early 80s through legislation. And this facility that we're here at now in Carlsbad was dedicated in 1995. So however many years that is, what is that, 25 years that we've been here.